welcome to Geek Fandom Media. I'm your host, Chris, and you guys, we have the official box office numbers for James Gunn's Superman. We have the results. Are they over the expectations or below the expectations for Superman's box office numbers? This is going to be a very interesting video. This is going to be a very interesting discourse over the next couple of weeks, because there's so much pressure on this project to do well. This is the brand new start of an entire universe, and it's riding on the back of Superman. It is all up to Superman, you guys. David Zaslav is even already congratulating Superman on its success opening weekend. I'm like, hold your horses, goofball. It's opening weekend. Let's see the second weekend, the third weekend. We don't know what those drop-off numbers could potentially be. But what are the numbers for James Gunn's Superman? And do you think he is satisfied for its opening weekend results? As of right now, you guys, it sits at $122 million domestically. 122. A low $95 million internationally, with a total of $217 million worldwide. Also, we have an A- cinema score, which is really good. Really, really good. Keep this in mind. The budget for this film was $225 million, and the marketing was an additional $100 million. So in order to break even, people are saying it needs to make north of $500 million worldwide, which I do think it can accomplish that, honestly. But I'm ultimately worried. I thought that this film would at least range a little bit higher than 217 opening weekend. Now, this is still great numbers for Warner Brothers. This is huge. This is the third biggest opening of the entire year, you guys. Behind Minecraft, 162 million with 313 million worldwide opening weekend. Lilo and Stitch, 146 million and 341 million opening weekend. So it sits at number 3. It's beaten all the Marvel films that's come out this year, Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World. So it's doing better than Marvel right now. DC is on the rise. But, I'm a little worried about these numbers. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. I'm a little worried. Man of Steel, you guys, in comparison, Man of Steel pulled in $116 million domestically opening weekend with $200 million worldwide opening weekend. The second weekend drop-off for Man of Steel was 65%, which is extremely high. And it ended up grossing north of like $667 million worldwide. The importance of international box office, you guys, I can't stress this enough. If your audiences around the world are not tuned in and they're not watching your films internationally, that is a problem. That's huge. Jurassic World, the main reason why Jurassic World just crossed $500 million, at the box office its second weekend, it's because of the numbers internationally. They are ginormous. There is a love for those Jurassic World and park films. It's huge. But let's go over some of the international stuff in box office of previous Superman films. So Man of Steel, you guys, $379 million internationally. That makes up 56% of the film's global intake. Superman 1978, $166 million internationally, 55%. And Superman Returns, $191 million, that's 48%. That's damn near half of the film's total box office runs. And if I'm being honest with you guys, as of right now, Superman is not doing that great in China. It's not doing that good internationally. And that's a massive problem. It's a big problem. I don't know if there's no appeal internationally to Superman because he's a little bit too American. I don't know what the issue is. Is it superhero fatigue? No idea what's happening. Superhero fatigue is real. A lot of people like to sugarcoat that shit. It's real. People are tired of the same old stories being told over and over again. They want something new and exciting. Now, I love that James Gunn didn't go the origin story route with Superman. It was very, it wasn't traditional. He stated that, he's tired of seeing the same old origin stories over again. The pearls in the alleyway from Batman, the spider bite from Spider-Man, the Kryptonian baby being shot into space, landing in Kansas, Smallville. He's done with origin stories. He doesn't want to tell the same story that's been told multiple times on many different platforms, via comic books, television shows, and films. So he's done with that. But could that have possibly hurt the film? Maybe. I know I found myself wanting a little bit more, backstory to certain character relationships in, Superman. I would have loved to see Lois and Clark when they first kind of interacted and met. You know what I mean? I find that shit kind of adorable. I love at first sight. I'm a sucker for love, you guys, But that's just me. That's just me. So what did the Batman do in comparison? The Batman, you guys, $128 million and pulled in $248 million worldwide. And a total of its global box office run, $772 million. So it's kind of on, the same ballpark, you guys. The fact that, domestically $128 million, it made, a significant amount more money opening weekend than Superman, which is kind of crazy to me. But ultimately, Batman is still a very much more popular and beloved character. Batman's the most popular DC character. Batman is the most biggest box office draw from DC as a whole. Look at the Nolan trilogy, massive numbers. The Batman pulled in, $772 million worldwide. It is just a bigger draw than Superman. And James Gunn, I would have thought this would have been his biggest film of his career. But no, you guys, it's not. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is still James Gunn's biggest film to date. That pulled in $146 million domestically, $389 million opening weekend, you guys, with a total of $863 million for its global box office run. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Loved it. Love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The film gets a lot of hate because of the quicks and, the jokes or whatever. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. But these numbers are, I'm seeing a very divide with Superman right now. It's divided. Either you like it or you really hate it. And it's really unfortunate because I feel like this film is not as bad as people are, talking it out to be. It's not bad at all. It's an enjoyable movie. It's a very fun and exciting family-filled movie. And it's very inspiring. At the end of the film, you feel different, right? You feel like you want to be a better human being to mankind by the end of this movie. And I love the message, man. I love that whole, monologue Superman gave Clark before, Krypto tore him apart. I love that whole monologue. I just don't get where, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, and I'm a little worried. And like I said, the second weekend, the second weekend drop off is going to determine everything with this movie. Everything. I'm a little worried. I don't think that this film is going to cross $1 billion. I don't think this film is going to cross $700 million worldwide. I honestly don't. Maybe if that international box office number was a little bit higher, then I think that there was there is or could be a strong possibility of this film pulling in a lot of cash. I don't. But apparently Warner Brothers is just happy with Superman making $500 million worldwide. David Zaslav is already congratulating the film on its opening weekend. I'm like, bro, chill out. Let's wait until that second weekend happens. You still got Fantastic Four coming out in about 2 weeks. That's a juggernaut of a film. Opening weekend for that film is going to be ginormous. It's going to be big. People are excited for the Fantastic Four first steps, and they've always pitted, the Fantastic Four versus Superman against each other. I ultimately want both films to succeed critically and financially. And I want the fans to be thrilled and happy with the characters that are being introduced onto these films, honestly. Mr. Terrific was a major standout. I'm not familiar with the character, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm obsessed with this character. I want to read every comic book. I want to know all the lore of Mr. Terrific. I don't know, you guys. 217, opening weekend. I definitely think that, there is some certain issues right now. It could be, movies are expensive. The cost to bring a family to a movie theater nowadays is damn near like $100, not, equating for like snacks and things of that nature. But there are reasons behind a lot of movies right now not succeeding at the box office. There are a bunch. Jurassic World Rebirth probably won't make probably won't cross the $1 billion mark, being the first Jurassic World movie not to make $1 billion. And I'll be honest with you, Jurassic World Rebirth wasn't a good film. It just wasn't. Honestly, I'm being honest. And I think the drop off for Jurassic World Rebirth was on its second weekend was 64%. That's a big drop off. That's a huge drop off. But like I said, internationally, it does so well. And your movie will not do well if your international box office does not succeed. It does not have, you really have to grasp the attention of the international box office. And, the word of mouth too. Like, how is the word of mouth going to do for Superman its second weekend? Luckily that we don't, what comes out this week. I know what you did last summer. Come on, ain't nobody going to go watch that shit. We already know where that movie's going to go. We already know how that movie's going to be at the very end of the day. So it does have it to its advantage for its second weekend. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Superman making $217 million worldwide its opening weekend. Did it meet you guys' expectations? Did you think that this film was ultimately going to make a little bit more at the box office, surpassing the Batman? Honest thoughts and opinions, you guys. What do you think is happening with the global box office, with film as a whole right now? Are we in trouble? How can we fix things? Honest thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching Geek Fandom Media. Peace.